They won, folks. They got them in the end. Let's be honest for a moment. They were never going to stop until they'd secured Boris Johnson's head. Since December, the campaign by the political establishment, the Ramona elite, the civil service blob, and crucially, the country's biased broadcast media, notably the BBC, ITV News and Sly News, has been fever pitch. Eventually, the Conservative Party decided it was impossible to govern while also fighting such dark and powerful forces. These are deeply depressing times for British democracy. Boris is the third Tory Prime Minister brought down in just 6 years. The febrile and hostile establishment in the MSM knows the power they have to bring political paralysis to the country. And why were they so determined to destroy Boris? Think about it. He was a transformational Prime Minister. A Prime Minister who stared them all down to finally deliver Brexit. A Prime Minister who had vowed to cut the size of the civil service and demanded they return to their damn desks. A Prime Minister who was going to scrap the hated BBC licence fee and sell the far-left Channel 4. It's not hard to see why they would stop at nothing to discredit him. I mean, do you know last night, the BBC actually quoted a source saying Boris Johnson is, quote, now like Putin. That's how deranged and determined his critics have become. The celebration that broke out across the airwaves today, especially on the Boris-bashing corporation once known as the BBC, blew up any final suggestion that we have an impartial broadcast media here in Britain.
We've had people on his own side who did support him merely weeks ago who are saying it's over. And it is over.
I'm almost grateful to Boris Johnson there for just reminding us at the end that all of the words I used to describe him are fair and accurate and in some ways not even adequate, because he is utterly reprehensible, utterly vile, utterly despicable. Goodbye, Boris Johnson, and may we never look upon your like again.
The country now faces up to 3 months of chaos as the Tory party elect a new leader. Again, that's exactly what Boris critics want as they plan to usher in a Labour Lib Dem SNP coalition from hell that would put both Brexit and the Union under serious threat. The Tory Ramonas have been just as bad, actually. They've let their party down and their country down. Former PM John Major shed his last scrap of dignity today by saying Boris should be removed as a caretaker Prime Minister and proposing Conservative members no longer vote on the next leader. We all know why. He wants a fellow Europhile back in number 10, a Ramona, like Jeremy Hunt. They are so transparent, they don't even pretend to believe in democracy anymore. Now, did Boris make mistakes? Of course he did. Lockdowns, tax hikes, a frenzied march to net zero especially. But was he ever given a realistic chance to succeed? No. I wanted to share with you part of a conversation I had earlier today with a source close to the Prime Minister. They told me people had no interest in talking about the quite historic leadership achievements, be that dragging us through a pandemic, a world-leading vaccine programme rollout, and a quite uniquely special performance in regards to that European war. Those people who wanted him gone never wanted to acknowledge that at any point. Never, ever. It was always just the Westminster personality stuff. That was the only focus. Labour has had not one policy or grown-up discussion. It has been an out-and-out campaign to remove Boris. And you always have to ask yourself why. Why did they want to get rid of Boris so much? Why did sections of the media do that? Ultimately, wounded or not, he is the Conservatives' best chance of winning an election. Really interesting last sentence there, by the way. That source close to Boris Johnson says he is the Tories' best chance. Not was, he is. So maybe Boris will mount a comeback when his party see sense. As the Daily Mail said today, the truth is Mr. Johnson stands head and shoulders above almost all his assassins. Compared with the mountains he has scaled, their combined achievements a little more than molehills. The latest polls back that up, by the way, showing all the Tory leadership favourites, except Rishi Sunak, losing to useless slippery Starmer. So, to Boris Johnson, yours was a project not completed, largely down to external forces. But thank you for delivering us Brexit. That is an achievement for the ages that will go down in the history books. I'm sad to say, after less than 3 years. But here are the Boris best bits.
Mr. Speaker, it is not too late to save Brexit. We have time in these negotiations. We have changed tack once, and we can change again.
And therefore I give notice that Boris Johnson is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party.
Well, my friends, good morning, everybody, my friends. Well, we did it. We did it. I say respectfully to our stentorian friend in the blue 12-star hat. That's it. Time to put a sock in the megaphone. Tonight, we are leaving the European Union. The most important thing to say tonight is that this is not an end, but a beginning. This is the moment when the dawn breaks and the curtain goes up on a new act in our great national drama. If we listen to Captain Hindsight, we would not have come out of lockdown in July last year, Mr. Speaker. We would have stayed in lockdown over Christmas and New Year, Mr. Speaker. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm very, very, very glad to see you. How are you doing? You're looking well.
Yes.
Unbelievable considering what you've been through. You are strong.
Yeah, I think so.
Fantastic. Well, you're absolute heroes. That I know that even if things can sometimes seem dark now, our future together is golden. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Optimistic to the end.